All right, let's move on to our last topic. We spoke about this last week. Eyekon was feeling a little salty that Mexicans were underrepresented in the K dot. What was that? It actually did have that name, K dot and Friends.
Yeah, K dot and
No,
Friends.
Ken and Friends.
Ken and Friends.
Ken and Friends. I've never heard of Kendrick Lamar referring to himself just as Ken. It's either K dot or Kendrick.
I mean, playing with words is progressive.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Okay. So he was upset that the Ken and Friends event, which was really a Juneteenth event, Ken and Friends event, a celebration of the battle with Drake that didn't have more Mexicans, right? So once he felt the backlash on the internet, he took to the food community and responded.
Did you load it up?
I'm about to play it right now. Let's play that clip right now.
You know what it is, LA Icon.
His name is LA.
Food Community Podcast. You are now watching another segment of Eyekon Reacts. So, there is a viral clip on the internet right now of me, which is titled, Mexicans Feel Underrepresented at Juneteenth Concert. I'd like to add context and clarity to this whole situation. And I'd like to start off by saying, number one, I did not know that it was a Juneteenth concert. To my knowledge, the show was called Ken and Friends Pop-Up Concert. I thought the show was a victory lap on him in the battle with Drake. Second of all, I did not know exactly what Juneteenth stood for.
I said that.
I know now. Juneteenth stands for and is celebrated because of the emancipation of people that were enslaved, aka the abolishment of slavery. So, shout out to Juneteenth, right?
Black people.
But my statement was clipped and titled, which took away the context from which my statement, which was I started off the statement by saying, I woke up this morning to a lot of posts about Kendrick Lamar unifying Los Angeles gangs on that stage. Kendrick had all of Los Angeles outside, things of that nature. Again, I did not know it was a Juneteenth event. Nowhere in my mind do I think Mexicans or Latinos are entitled to perform at a Juneteenth event. One Latino did, shout out to OGZ. But again, I don't think we're entitled to perform at such an event. Now, I think it's safe to say all of you would agree that if it wasn't a Juneteenth event, my statement has absolute validity. There's no Mexicans on stage and you're saying all of Los Angeles hip hop scene is present or all of the gangs in Los Angeles are being represented, then yeah, there should be Mexicans there. Again, the clip was taken. It was titled what it was titled. We do live in a content era on the internet, and they made content of my statement. It's unfortunate that it was taken out of context and it was clipped. However, it was clipped, but it is what it is, and here we are. So again, I did not know it was a Juneteenth event. I did not know what Juneteenth stood for. I now know. And Mexicans are not entitled to be present on a stage celebrating Juneteenth. But yeah, that's what it is, man. Shout out to Juneteenth, now that I know what it actually stands for. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to all of those of you at home that also didn't know what Juneteenth was. But now you know exactly what Juneteenth stands for because of this video. Shout out to everyone watching the food community, man. Happens. Excuse my ignorance. Yeah. LA Icon, food community. You know what it is, baby. I'm out.
These food.
Man.
I just noticed something. When I had a conversation with him about this via text, and he used the word entitled, I left away thinking he was suggesting that Mexicans should have been entitled. when I just heard what he said right now, that they aren't entitled, I went to go check our text thread to see if he was contradicting himself, and I realized he was saying here that he realized they are not entitled. I misread it, so I want to say that on his behalf.
Okay. But what was your general feeling of this? I don't know what to call this. I was thinking that this was supposed to be an apology type.
Did the caption say that's what it was supposed to be?
No, it just says his reaction. It's his Eyekon's reaction.
Okay.
I feel like he summed it up in the beginning. Kin and friends. How can you feel offended if you're not considered among someone's friends? It's just the end of it right there. All the other shit, trying to sound intelligent and all the other ramifications. He had a guest list of friends that he invited, and that's it.
I got chewed up in the comments. They was like, you know what I'm saying?
Regarding what?
I guess I went too easy on the Hispanics or too on the fence with it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, Munchie, you sound stupid. Oh, but I'm like, shit, damn, that's fucked up.
Hey, there's some black folks that want you to go all the way hard on Mexicans. I don't think we should just go hard on Mexicans, but there's a time and a place when criticism needs to be expressed. Yeah. And I don't think this video does any justice to the whole issue. First and foremost, enslavement of a people. Why couldn't he just say black people?
Right.
Juneteenth was a celebration of the enslavement of black people for over 200 and something years.
But how do we have to educate him about why we throwing a party? I don't have no idea what Cinco de Mayo stands for, but I know it's they shit. And I know I don't be invited. You don't have to explain to me why y'all throw that party for me to feel like I understand why I'm not entitled to be there.
No, he didn't even know that day was Juneteenth. He thought it was on the 16th, though. So he was all the way out the ballpark anyway. He was way, like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you like the Latino attorney?
No, he said I thought it was the 16th.
Because you did that for Lefty Gunplay to a degree too. I think you tried.
No, he didn't have no knowledge of what Juneteenth was at all. He didn't even know that the Ken and Friends thing was even on
when
the right day.
When it was Lefty Gunplay, you were saying I don't think he meant it like that.
No, I just think he need to stay away from conversations. He need a PR.
All right, let me also mention something else. The clip that we played last week, which was an abbreviated clip from a longer podcast episode, was not taken out of context. I went back. There's no need for us to replay the full part of that thing. I went back and watched the actual. Actually, I think if we went back and played the whole thing,
it'd be worse.
It's worse. So, Eyekon, it was not taken out of context at all. You said what you said. Either you stand on it or apologize. One or the other.
Only thing he really admitted, he didn't know what it meant, and I heard that. Like he said, you think I have something to do with being a Juneteenth event? He said, like, what did he say? What you mean by that? Or
no, he was like, no. He said it was Juneteenth, right? He was like, no, I thought that was the 16th. They was like, no, the 19th. That was the actual response.
Then his response was, okay, like so, like.
No, he's the one that suggested that. I thought it was on the 16th.
Yeah, but after they cleaned it up, he was like, he's still oblivious.
But he was aware of Juneteenth. As soon as he heard the word, he tried to give us a date for it.
Do he gangbang?
I'm not sure about that.
I don't just listen to him. I don't take him to be the brightest dude, bro. No, for real. Like I don't.
You think the fact that he has? I just noticed this LA in his name.
LA Eyekon.
LA Eyekon makes him think he's more part of our LA than we actually view him or them.
Wait, what do you mean by our LA? Black LA?
Yes, Black LA. Because when he says he's offended, they said Kendrick had all the LA, all the gangs. And we're saying that from our perspective of the people, that was a truth. But they weren't saying we weren't thinking we're leaving the Mexicans out. But we still thought with all the confusion we have in amongst our community through the years, it was still a showing gesture of everybody. Yeah. That was a percentage of everybody of our shit. And we didn't think nobody from the outside gonna say, oh, you said all of LA, what about us? What about the few whites that run the streets of LA? Were they unrepresented? The few Asian gang members.
Yeah, you know, one of the criticisms that Lil Doc got, I received some of it too, because I was working on some similar truths, is like, how can you truce up with a Latino gang when y'all backyard is still messed up? Meaning, you got multiple black conflict going on. You got multiple black rivalry going on. And you're going to truce it up with the Florences? You're going to truce it up with the Latino gang? That's a lot of criticism that Lil Doc had to take in the beginning.
I could be wrong, but I think before Lil Doc left the streets, he connected some dots with some black gangs also.
He did. With the Kitchens.
The Broadways, based on that
And the
statement.
Broadways, yeah.
Based on those type of
Kitchens,
sentiments, the homies, I've heard conversations where a lot of people agree that we should be able to patch other things based on that. That's not like a foreign concept.
I kind of agree because in a different dynamic, I'll be telling Skip I'd rather deal with the blood on blood conflicts. That's a little easier to patch up. Then we go extend. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when it comes to truces, I believe you should work on whatever the opportunity presents. Sometimes it's going to be black, Crip blood, and then sometimes it's going to be Latino black. Whatever opportunity presents, jump on it and make it happen if you're down for saving lives. But I do understand the criticism, though. I do understand how people sitting in the room is like, so we trucing it up with these Mexicans?
No, I understand the full spectrum as well. Yep.
So
I think to look deeper though, because he connected dots with black hoods too though. It's just how big East Coast and Florence is that stand out the most.
Yeah. Another thing that on Eyekon's reaction is he felt that if it wasn't Juneteenth, his statement is still valid.
Bullshit.
And it doesn't matter if this Juneteenth at all, right?
Right.
It's Ken and friends.
Right. And just because somebody looked at what happened, they classified it a certain way, doesn't give him the right to decide what we should have or should not have done.
Did that come out of Kendrick's mouth that he united LA or he united the gangs in LA?
I don't think he said any of that. I think it was all a reaction from outside saying all this.
Yeah, Kendrick never even spoke on
He
this.
just said, sometimes you got to pop out to show niggas.
All right, so he never even said that at all, and it was a Mexican there that performed. So
Yes.
I mean, oh boy, just he you know what I mean. He got too much pride. It's a such thing having too much pride.
Now check this out. I had this Food Community YouTube page up, and I was scrolling and I was looking through it. Guess what? There's a huge lack of on the Food Community YouTube page in terms of interviews and collaborations.
Black people.
Ding 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 ding. I mean, and I don't expect for them to have a
Exactly.
bunch. That's cool, right?
Exactly.
Uh,
We're not tripping on that.
Is Full Community that's the channel and Indicted is the show or is that like?
Well, Food Community is a show that LA Eyekon does his podcast on. Now, Indicted is a show that he produces that his wife is the host of on a separate channel.
Yeah, her show be having black presence.
They do have a few. They do have a sprinkle of brothers on the platform, but it's predominantly.
So are you saying in the context where he was speaking, do you feel like we're underrepresented on his platform?
I do believe that we are underrepresented on the Food Community.
Is it a hip-hop based platform?
Yeah, it is. I can tell you this. I got more Latino people on StreetTV than they have black folks on Food Community. That's
What's
a
up
fact.
with that LA Icon?
That's a fact. That's a fact. In fact, I just did an incredible interview with an I-13. That's going to be coming out soon. I don't want to say his name because then all y'all going to rush to him and try to interview him before I even drop it. And then I just re-released an interview I did of a Latino from East LA, but that I dropped a couple years ago. I got a bunch of them. I did Sonny from Burbank. I got a bunch of them. In fact, I'm the first one to put Latinos from the streets on the internet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Okay.
trying to remember. Who was my first Latino interview? I think it was a dude from Florence. I did that interview in like 07, 08. I also did an incredible interview with a dude from Big Top Locals. I've been doing this. I've never discriminated.
My Armenian partner said he spoke to some Historino partners this week, and they was telling him how far back you go, how well they was familiar with what you do.
And here's another issue when it comes to interviewing Latinos, because I've been doing this since 05, 06, 07. The politics from their communities is a lot different, and it was much stricter or more strict in them years of not coming on camera, not doing interviews. The only exception is if you was a rapper. But now we're starting to see slowly changing.
Yes.
A whole bunch of non-rapping Latinos are popping out and showing themselves.
Correct.
So now there's an opportunity, and now that exists, there's a bunch of Latino-based platforms that they'll get them now.
Okay.
They get them.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I want everybody to know I was shooting y'all interviews 20 years ago when nobody else was doing it here in LA.
That's right.
Here in Los Angeles. The last thing I'll say about the Eyekon reaction was I didn't think that was cool when he said shout out Juneteenth. Juneteenth is not a person. It's a I don't know.
No, there was a tinge of arrogance
Yeah.
attached to his whole little speech right there. It's cool. We could take that.
But
down.
I still want to invite LA Eyekon
Pull
to
up.
chop it up with Spider on Facts Over Feelings, since y'all already had the back and forth going.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And we are actually colleagues. We've worked together on
Yeah.
multiple occasions.
It makes sense. And I worked with you, LA Eyekon, when we did the L-Boy interview. Well, that had to be at least 2013, 2014. L-Boy from Pasadena.
Okay.
I went and L-Boy asked me to pull up. So what do I usually do?
Pull up.
I pull up.
Pull up like Huggies.
I pulled up. He wanted me to shoot the behind the scenes of him shooting the video. And guess who was the videographer of his video that night? Eyekon was. So I always pulled up for L-Boy. I don't know even what happened to L-Boy. I haven't heard
I'm
about
not
bro
familiar.
in a minute. He was all over the internet in like 13, 14, 15. He was when there wasn't a lot of Latinos on the internet, L-Boy was the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he think LA is Mexicans. That's us. They got the stronghold on LA, so he figured we belong there. LA our shit. You know, and they quote Tupac a whole lot.
Yep, they take that line to heart.
That Tupac line to live in LA, that go a long way with the Browns. You know what I'm saying?
And it does. I mean, we do the numbers and look at the landscape. Yes, I understand why they feel like LA is their home. No one argues that. But that doesn't mean that we are not at home without you being at our event. It's our home as well.
But and then another thing, look at the cities and the signs.
El Segundo,
El Segundo,
San Pedro,
Santa Monica,
Alameda,
Los Alamitos,
Santa Fe.
Santa Fe out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, but
And let me throw this out there. I don't want to say his name because we had a private conversation. Eventually, maybe we will go deeper on this. But someone from the food community reached out to me, and he said that Eyekon doesn't speak for all of the food community.
That's right.
And that I don't agree with some of the things he said. So I don't know how many people are affiliated with the food community. I don't want to just say.
Does food mean like food? Like, what's up, food?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where they get that from, without the L on it.
Right.
So obviously, not everybody from the food community, which is probably multiple people, I don't know, agree with Eyekon on that.
I mean, hey.
And maybe we can get that dude to come on.
If y'all want to be at the party, y'all want to be down, y'all can say that. But that's not across the board. It doesn't go like that. Everybody don't even want to come to the party like y'all want to be at it.
hey, we ain't gonna say y'all, cause that's that dude. Who else you hear speak out on it?
Well, him.
Yeah,
Eyekon.
that directly at Eyekon, cause I don't know if a lot of people, like a boy said, even agree with.
No, he's saying Alex came away with that. Even though that guy doesn't agree, he feels that there are that do over at that platform. I was talking to those.
Okay. We gonna get OGZ up here, cause we know mutuals. You know what I'm saying? I want to know how he felt about the statement that he made.
Don't you think sometimes rappers just stay rappers and stay in their lane? Or do you think it's advisable for young rappers to express their political opinions?
That's why I said I think Lefty need to just rap. Like certain subjects he should stay away from.
Yeah.
Everybody not versed for
because
this type of shit.
he'll make the mistake of letting everybody know how you really feel again.
Man, or you just not ready, bro. You can't articulate yourself. It's like some of these athletes is dummies and jocks.
He can mean exactly what he said and how he looked it like too.
Okay, look who tried to represent us and talk to Trump, a comedian. Steve Harvey wasn't supposed to do that. I would prefer D.L. Hughley if it had to be a comedian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't. That's not your lane. You tell jokes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So people should stay in their lane. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
Well, Tupac was one of the most vocal rappers in his time.
Yes.
He did not shut his mouth for nothing.
It's like every time he said some shit, that shit landed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.